things that I've said to the groups that have been coming through is that we did the right thing, and we did a good thing. This building is beautiful, and the service here is wonderful, and we are so proud to be a part of downtown Oklahoma City. And I know we're the final MAPS project, but MAPS has changed the face of Oklahoma City.
The Metropolitan Library System has been in existence since about 1965, and at that time the downtown library building was probably about 15 years old, and after about 20 years it was too small, too much space on too many floors, and we started visioning for a new library in downtown Oklahoma City. We were finally successful in being included as part of the MAPS project in 1990-91, and we started planning the building at that period of time. So this beautiful building is really the culmination of over 10 years of work.
I've had several people who work at the courthouse and who work in Oklahoma Tower, which is next door to us, say that they look forward to our being here so that they can come over. We have tried to put in comfortable furniture and comfortable tables and places for people to come in and relax and spend their lunch hour if they want to. They can even eat their lunch out in the atrium.
This library is actually, when you talk about large urban libraries, many of the urban libraries or urban communities are building much larger buildings across the country. But we felt like what we needed for Oklahoma City was one that would be certainly much larger than what we had at the old facility. It's double the size of the old facility. But we wanted one that would be something that the community could be proud of, but we didn't want a huge central library because that would be much more expensive for us to operate, and it wasn't really what was needed. What we needed here is for the downtown working people to have a public library for them to use, and also the residents that live in the immediate service area. And we wanted to do some special things for children and some special collections, but not a large central library because our library system is decentralized. It doesn't serve as the major resource or research collection for the library system because we don't operate our libraries that way. So it's a little different in that regard. It is a downtown library in an urban setting, but it's not really a, quote, central library. It's not an archival library, and so that makes it a little unique.
It was interesting. I looked at some demographics, and within a half mile of this building, exactly twice as many people work as our old building, and it's less than half a mile from our old building. And I was surprised that there was that much difference. But we have a real customer base that come in on their lunch hour and grab movies and paperbacks and go back to work, and then sometimes they come back in the evening on their way home from work. We're happy to serve those folks, but we also answer hundreds of reference questions on the telephone, and I think we'll continue to do that. Another additional service that will be here downtown is that we'll have a drive-through book drop where people can return their materials, whether they check them out at Belle Isle or Southern Oaks. They can return all of their materials here, and then we'll route them out.
The building was originally designed to be across from the Myriad Gardens on Sheridan, on top of the Galleria parking garage. But as we started into the design phase, we discovered that parking garage would not support the live load limits that libraries have to have because books are heavy. And so once that was determined, then the city had to start looking for another site, and they owned this property here on this end of the Galleria, and so the library was determined to go there. This site is not what you would normally choose for a library. You would probably choose something a little bit more square, but the footprint of this is kind of long and narrow. And so we had all these dreams and desires to put in this building, a cafe, a large children's area, space for a large collection, the learning center, administrative offices, and we wanted all of that in this one building, but because the footprint was long and narrow, it was kind of difficult to design a space that would do that. And so Beck Associates Architects came up with kind of this design of the building that would accommodate everything that we wanted, but also be very different from most of the buildings downtown. It's very modern, very contemporary, and we've tried to reflect that inside as well with a lot of the furnishings and the finishes. And so it's very unique, and I think that's what we wanted. We wanted something that the people would say, wow, what is that building? And I think that's what's taken place.